When you need precision with your designs, you need some additional tools, just the same as if you were a draftsperson or an architect or any kind of designer and you were sitting at a drawing board. You would need rulers, you would need some kind of graph paper or some way of making sure that everything has a precise arrangement. So let's have a look at what tools we have in Illustrator for that. So if you look at your properties panel here, you have rulers and grids, and you have guides, and you have snap options. So let's have a look at rulers first. Now you can access these also from your view menu, but why do that when you've got the properties panel? You could use a shortcut, Control or Command R, to show or hide your rulers. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my rulers on, and I'm going to check what are my measurements here just to be safe. So up here it says points. I can change that to any other unit. I'm going to change it to pixels just for this activity. You can also right click on the ruler and change there as well. And if I want to create guides to help me with my arrangement of my work, I can simply drag from a ruler down and release, and I get a guide. It's kind of like a little pencil line drawn with a ruler that helps you to organize things. I'm also going to drag a guide on this side. Okay, so guides are there to help you organize things. You can go to your view menu and you'll see that here you have down here guides, and you can hide your guides, you can lock your guides, you can release your guides. In other words, they then become actual lines and not guides, and you can clear them. And from your properties panel, you have hiding and showing guides, locking and unlocking guides, and then there's smart guides, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. Also remember that anything can be a guide. So if I needed a circular guide, I could actually draw an ellipse, and I could go to View, Guides, Make Guides, and that then becomes a guide. So if I have a look, I now have a circular guide. I'm just going to delete that. So guides are there to help you arrange things. Also, your snapping options allow objects to snap to guides. So if I have snapping on, you see I can snap to points, snap to grid, and snap to pixels. So I'm going to leave it on snap to point. And if I drag objects, you'll see that these guides are kind of a bit magnetic in terms of how these things snap to them. Also, notice all of these little pink things that are jumping up. Those are my smart guides. Those are turned on from this option here, and they actually help you to see the relationship between the object that you have, that you are moving or that you have selected, and other objects, so that you can line things up very easily. So if you get used to using these effectively, the align panel kind of becomes a bit redundant, except for under certain circumstances, because you can actually align things just by watching your smart guides and using your actual guides. So that's guides, that's your ruler, and snapping to guides. And there's one other thing, which is a grid. So if I click on this button here, which says grid, I have this grid like graph paper that I can use, and you can customize this from your settings. So if I go to Illustrator settings, and on Windows it'll be edit, preferences, settings, and I go to guides and grid, you can see here I can change my grid settings. I can also change the color of my guides, the color of my grid, and so on. I'm not going to do that. So a grid is really there if you're needing to create a layout that has a kind of grid structure, which a lot of layouts do. I'm going to turn that off. So just by using my guides and my smart guides, I'm going to actually arrange this how just the main objects. So I'm going to take the frosting and snap it up onto the guides there. I'm going to take the top of the cupcake and I'm going to pop it there. I'll arrange this to the front. Then I'm going to take this, and watching those smart guides, which are giving me some feedback on how things are lining up using my arrow key, and let's line those up. So the pink line tells me that they're perfectly lined up. So you see that it's pretty easy to arrange things just by using your smart guides and some additional guides that you might use to help you with arranging things.